All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Monday, April 19th. We will call to order this meeting on the Condemnation and Blight at 2:02 p.m. Approval of minutes for March 15th, 2021. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can we make a motion to suspend the current agenda to take care of those that are currently on the line?
I'll second that, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Number one? I didn't know you had a vote, but all right. Number one was Mr. Dudek, correct? Paul, are you on?
Yeah.
All right. How are we making out, sir?
Well, we had a visit from Tom O'Brien a few days ago, the asbestos contractor. He reviewed with me and outlined the process. He'll be starting before the end of the month. That's the way we worked it out now. And then I also had a conversation or a text with the demo contractor to let him know that the remediation is on its way, and he'll be back to revisit the site after it's cleared for him to come in and do his stuff. So I anticipate having it all wrapped up, hopefully by sometime next month.
Okay, so moving forward, remediation next month and possible continuation of remediation following, correct?
Right, and just keep in mind that apparently every day there's a rain. The asbestos guys don't work, and it just puts them behind on the job they're at now. So that's just my observation. So I think it's in any landscaping or outdoor work that's involved with stuff. So.
Hi, Paul. This is Tom Conley. Do you have a demolition contractor in mind?
Yes, the one we talked about earlier on. Why can't I think of his name right now? Young fella, McLeavy.
Okay, Josh McLeavy. Great. And have you contracted with him? He's aware of your needs, special needs there?
Well, have I contracted? Yeah, he sent me an estimate, and I also signed the. There's a Manila 4-page thing for the permit. Last August I signed that and gave him the copy, and he was going to take care of the rest of it after the asbestos thing came in. So he's in possession of my signed permit, I guess you would call it.
Thank you, Paul. I'll give him a call.
Yeah, I texted him several days ago, but he can't do anything until the asbestos guys are out of here, and then he knows what he's going to have to work with. And from what the asbestos people are telling me, he'll have nothing but sticks left. So it'll be quite a difference of what his job is going to be after that.
Great.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
On the board?
And yeah, any questions or anything else? No?
Nope. No, sir. Thank you for the forward progress there, sir.
All righty.
All right.
Thanks.
Next is Mr. John Rabel, Old Dam Road.
Hi, how you doing, sir? How's things?
Well, yourself.
Yeah. Well, I own 100 Old Dam Road. It's been my family for about 67 years. And when I got out of the Vietnam War from Marines, my father and we built a house on the land there. And anyways, I own it now. And the problem is that somebody bought a house next to it and just put junk, all garbage, everything around, and now I got rats running around when I'm cutting the lawn and everything. Also, I had it nice there all these years with marshland because it was conservation. And what happened was, in his own yard, he cut everything down, extended it all, and then went into my property really deep, about 40 feet, and put a wire fence all around my property now. I told him to clean it up and take everything off, and he gave me a hard time. So I went to the police department, and the police said they can't do nothing. It's a civil matter. You got to do it in the town hall. So the town hall, I went there. They said the police got to arrest him for doing that. So I went to the police back, and they were mad because they were seeing me again. But anyways, he said that, did you tell him? I said, yes, I told him. I said, okay, what if I take the fence down to myself because it's on my own property and everything? He said, well, then he could sue me. So I don't need no trouble. I'm trying to go through the channels, but I'm running around. I reported it to conservation too. But anyways, if you look at the road, an old dam road to the left, you could see the pile. And I just caught somebody when I was doing the lawn too. A Chinese woman came by and she started dumping her stuff over there. I said, hey, what are you doing? And this is on his property. He says, oh, this is the town dump. Everybody does it here. That's all I have to say. And I'm getting a little frustrated about it, but that's the story.
So, if I can, Mr. Rabel, if I can ask you, it's Tom Conley here. This is there's some fencing and stumps and some backfill in that little property there, and that's on the little the Y-shaped portion to the left, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So it would be to the left of your property. I saw it. We're gonna turn that over to conservation, and we'll send him a letter about dumping there. He should not be able to do that if that's in conservation. I will check with them.
That'll be great, sir. And I just got to deal with. He put a fence around, and it was all nice marshland, all the straw and everything. Like I'm honoring it. All these years, mine is completely good. But he went way over on my property and started taking my stuff out too. By his house.
Okay, well, we'll get this over to conservation, see what they have to say. They're a little short-handed at the moment, so if you just give us a couple of...
I understand. Because I've been in this town for 74 years, and that was it, so...
Well, thank you for paying your taxes for all those years, and we'll look into
my taxes are completely paid off, right up to this date, too.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Rabel.
Okay, bye.
All right, take care. Next on the agenda is Mr. Miller. Good afternoon, sir.
Well, I'm not next on the agenda, but 20 Morehouse Highway and 83 is.
Okay, we've taken the current agenda out of order due to you being on the call, sir.
But he just, he's just here to
Yep,
listen
okay,
to sort of
so number 20 Morehouse Highway is still on our agenda, and it currently is in appeal, and that is currently scheduled for less than 2 weeks from now, on the 29th. So they're still on.
And I did speak to the homeowner, and he did start some repairs of the siding within the last week or so, or about maybe 2 weeks or so. So he's started working on it, but he did appeal the citation, so we'll have a hearing for that at the end of this month.
Is he still being fined?
The hearing officer will decide whether our citation, meaning the fines, was valid at the time, and so if he decides they are, then the fines will be in place from when we voted on it.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion on number 20 Morehouse Highway? Hearing none, we'll move on to, I believe 83 Morehouse was just confirming the garage, the stairway going to the garage, which was confirmed, and I believe was removed from the agenda.
Well, we're confirming that.
Yes, the stairway leading up to the second floor of the garage has been blocked on both the top and the bottom using plywood.
All right. So make a motion to...
I thought we had.
Well, we started, but I think...
Okay, then we stopped with the confirmation? Okay. I'd make a motion to remove this 83 Morehouse from the agenda.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Remove 83.
No, yes, 83.
83.
Yeah.
Okay, and who is next?
The next one is Amanda Burrozy and Anthony Gala.
Okay. Moving on to 1019 Fairfield Beach Road. Mr. Conley, do you have any follow-up in regards to this as to where we might be?
Yes. So this morning, I'm in receipt of a demolition permit from, for the life of me, I was supposed to bring it here, I didn't bring it in, but he was issued a demolition permit. I gave them permission through special acceptance to remove the roof and parts of the second floor by hand. So I have workers' comp from 2 different individuals, but so that it's done in a safe manner. I want the building taken down, limited anyway, by hand and put into dumpsters. And then when we get to the foundation, I'm going to allow them to use a mechanized equipment, some type of, and I'm not sure what they're going to use, backhoes, small shovels, to remove it. But on special request from me, asked them to do it by hand. They've agreed. They finally got, as of, I think, Friday, let's say Monday, Friday, the asbestos report. So they should be good to start taking that down. I have all of their utility disconnects and letters, so we should be good.
Okay. I don't know if anyone else from the board wanted to add anything, but I just wanted to say thank you all for allowing us the opportunity to address you. My name is Amanda Brozzi with the law firm McCullough, Goldberger & Stout, and I'm here on behalf of Anthony Galero, owner of 1011 Fairfield Beach Road, which I'm sure you know is located immediately adjacent to 1019. Thank you, Tom, for the update. We're very glad to see that there's progress being made at 1019, but since the subject house is hanging over Mr. Galero's property, we just want to make sure that the process is being conducted safely and according to code. I think maybe some of the information you just gave addresses some of our issues because we understood that a demo contractor had been retained, and we wanted to make sure that the contractor was licensed and that he had submitted a complete demo permit application with all the required insurance. It sounds like you've now received a complete demo permit application and that's been issued. That's right, Tom?
Yes, Amanda, and they have contracted a licensed roofing contractor to make the removal, of the roof in that second floor and dismantle it down so that we're not, so that we don't have any issues of a mechanized piece of equipment, flipping. We know the sensitivity being on Mr. Galero's property, so they will, it's going to take a little bit of time, but they're going to do hand removal of that down to the foundation. So
yeah,
and we do have insurance from both companies, from the demolition and from the roofing contractor. So. Oh, good.
And thank you. I did see in your March minutes that you had specially requested for the hand removal, which I think showed sensitivity to the situation here. So thank you for that.
Sure. I will send, if I can interrupt just real quick, I will send, as soon as I get back to my desk, I apologize. I've been running around a little bit hectic here. I'll send you a copy of that permit, and I'll try to get a copy of all the information out of that demolition application once I get it back from my secretarial staff.
Okay, that's great, because I know that Mr. Galero had sent in a FOI request maybe a couple weeks ago, and particularly we were curious about the results of the asbestos survey, because I know you guys had identified floor tile on the first floor that would be suspect, but I wasn't sure if any other asbestos had been identified.
No, I believe that was all we had, and that's why I also gave them at that time permission to go back into the home after I had a stop work order on it and hand remove the flooring on the first floor in one particular area that was a hot zone. I don't remember if it was kitchen or bathroom, and remove it by hand. So I did give them, at my direction, permission to get back into that building.
Okay.
This is Anthony Galero. Can I interject here?
Sure.
When you did give that verbal permission to have them enter into the building? Did you know who the demolition contractor was, and did you know whether or not he followed the requirements that the town of Fairfield requires as far as notifying the neighbors of such demolition, and whether or not there was asbestos, and whether or not the asbestos had a letter of destination for the debris? Seems as though we're having two different discussions here. This is a blight board, which I believe there's a chairman, a vice president, and a secretary, and then there's Tom, yourself, as a building inspector. So one thing is that the condemnation board should have made several rulings along the way on whether or not it was condemned and whether or not that process would continue. And then all of a sudden I found out that things were happening on the property when the property had a stop work order on it, and I sent numerous emails into you to find out what was actually happening. So if there was asbestos removal taken and the asbestos removal was done, who was the removal done by, and where did the asbestos go?
So I will absolutely email you all the information I have within that package. And that would be, we don't, Anthony, just so you know, the building department does not handle, the state of Connecticut handles asbestos, and we receive the paperwork from the state to the health department. So I believe we have paperwork on that, and I would have to email that to you. I did not bring that in. Our office is still processing the permit. So I just, it goes from point A to point B, and I don't have it in hand. But I will get it to you. I'll make sure we get copies to you.
I think you have to understand the concern that I have, being the property owner, starting this process back in June of last year when things started to go awry. And now it's going to be almost a year and a couple months. And it seems as though every sort of application or every sort of process that the town of Fairfield has not been met. So now you're telling me that there's a demolition permit that's issued, but there was work done. There was demolition work done. There was asbestos removal done. So the property owners, I didn't get a certified letter, notifying me that there was going to be anything be done. There was children playing outside next door when I saw contractors in there. There's a major concern. And the blight board, whether or not the blight board is the board to address this, I'm not sure. I mean, you've made determination that the property was blighted, and then it kind of just fell through the cracks for 2 or 3 months. So is the blight board, you have a chairman, and his name's Philip Higgins. I guess he's here. So is the blight board, what's the position of the blight board? Because it seems as though it just gets kicked back to the building department, and then the blight application or the blight complaint form that I filled out on October 21st of 2020 and that you've voted on in several different meetings has just been pushed aside.
I believe if you look at the last month's meeting, there was a determination letter was sent and the property is moving forward. This item will now carry pending current work as long as the project is moving forward from a blight standpoint.
On January 25th, you made a motion that passed that the property was in the determination of blight, so that you have a 30-day cleanup process after the 25th of January. So now we're into April.
So, Tony, if I can just explain a little bit with our board, we do offer a lot of latitude with people as long as they're moving forward, and we have assurances. We don't simply, there are some people that can't, some people certainly that stall the program, but usually we allow these things to sort of carry over as long as we're moving forward, as long as we have contact with somebody, as long as they're moving forward, as long as there's motion to make this stuff right. We have many properties. If you saw the agenda today, we're looking at 17, 20 some odd items. So we do carry a lot of them over, but the process is lengthy and is sort of left to us to decide, how to. As long as there's forward motion, we tend to be a little more or less likely to find somebody immediately.
And one other thing, if I may, this is Phil. The hearing date was towards the end of January, and during February we had a lot of things, as you might recall if you were in the February meeting. We had a lot of things going on during that small time frame between January and March, particularly the pandemic right now that, we've all been very, very busy. The written determination letter went out in the beginning of March. So that determination letter, if received in March, they technically have, I believe it's 30 days to respond to the determination now, which I believe the fines, they carried over until, I believe, today.
Yeah, there's consideration of, are we going to vote for citation today?
Correct.
So that's the sort of the issue here before us, and we listen to the updates and hear where we are, and it meets the criteria for blight, and so.
Today would be the decision whether we move forward with fines or not.
It would seem as though that it's given your responsibility to do so as per underneath the Blight Prevention Chapter 51 of your ordinance. I mean, if you're going to follow the ordinance, then vote on it.
Yep, and that's
okay.
That's what we're discussing today, sir. And so we're getting the updates, we're hearing from you, and then we're going to make a decision.
Tony, do you have all of the information that you'd like from the board before they vote?
It's interesting. When I filed the FOIL request, I thought it would encompass all the different municipality departments. If it doesn't, I'd like to know that I have to file an individual FOIL for each individual department. That means zoning, that means health department, that means blight department. I didn't know that one FOIL request wouldn't encompass everything, because it seems as though there was a lot of paperwork that I could have got before today's meeting.
Mm-hmm. Tom, can you clarify, is the FOIL request that Anthony submitted on April 5th, I believe, is that just to your department?
I'm not sure who you're speaking with. Are you speaking with the condemnation or the building?
The building department.
Building department. That is certainly in my my email file, and as soon as I can staff up and get a full staff and get out from underneath all the other issues I have, I am shorthanded. I am retiring. I don't have people to do it. I have people out with COVID. I cannot possibly handle the volume that comes in, and I think if you read through the requirements in the FOI, they do give some leniency to special conditions, and we certainly are in that with the COVID and the fact that I have people out with COVID. I can't possibly get to all of the work that I have, and I apologize for that, but it's just impossible. And I think the requirements are a little lenient in that I don't have to do it immediately. I'll get it to you as soon as I can.
I was sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to. I was really just asking more of a scope question. When a FOIA request is submitted to you, is it just within your? Do you just look within your department, or do you send it all around? Town hall. Is that was my question.
So typically, if it's in my office, I give you what I have. But there are occasions when we have paperwork in my file from other departments. But I don't always knock on everyone's door and say, "Hey, I have FOI. Give me all the information: zoning, health, engineering, fire marshal." I don't do that. No, that is not unless requested or sent to those departments.
Yeah.
Again, I would have to check downstairs. We do have an FOI, somebody that handles most of that, but I don't have that.
And
I don't
I
do
understand.
that as a normal course of action.
I understand, and that's all I wanted to know. And I certainly understand COVID, has created lots of issues.
Nor would I. When I receive FOI from the fire marshal's office, I typically respond with just fire marshal material.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay. So, in regards to...
So I'll start off with the motion to move to citation for 1019 Fairfield Beach Road in the sense that they are still meet the criteria of blight as of today. They haven't taken action other than some of the paperwork, so I'll move to that. Make a motion that we cite them for being in violation of blight.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second that. I do agree. I would just add a note, please, if I can, for the minutes, that they are moving forward. They have taken a demo permit. So that building is coming down. I do not want to fine them, until the last shovel goes in. I don't think that's fair to anybody. I think that they have been moving in a forward motion. I know it's a little slow, but for sake of carrying on, I will second that. I want that noted, though, that I don't think it's fair when they are actually moving forward with it. But we can move forward. Go ahead.
For discussion purposes, I would also comment that I believe also that forward progress is being made on the property, but it does still fit the definition of blight. So all those in favor of moving forward on this property?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The vote was unanimous to move forward on fines.
So the owner will receive a citation indicating that the fines will begin. The owner has the right to appeal that with a hearing officer. In most cases, they do. So that hearing usually takes place between 2 weeks and a month out from now. From when they receive it, when we receive the citation. So that'll be the process.
All right. Anyone else on the call?
Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you.
All right. Take care.
Rex?
I'm
Yes.
here. Sorry, was
Rex,
unmuting
you're not
myself.
on the
I'm
call?
here. Yep.
Okay.
I'm here.
373 Cross Highway. Have we received anything in addition to the information that was received last month regarding I believe it was a possible application for farm use?
No, I have no application, but I did. There's more mechanized equipment being hauled to that property. So there's. I didn't go out there, but I have pictures of a brand new piece of equipment, large. I don't know if I have the picture here. And I apologize again. I just didn't. But I am in receipt of there's something new being added to that property, so.
Okay.
I can find it. I will send it to everyone.
According to the minutes last month, the company Huntington was out on March 9th or 11th. I have not seen anything since that time frame. Compliance being within 30 days. That was March 15th. Today is March 19th. April 19th. I believe, in order to be compliant within the 30 days, with the additional storage, I believe, being placed on the property.
Yeah. I think it still meets the criteria for blight. From what we were advised, is that it doesn't meet the allowable criteria to be considered a farm.
No.
So that point is moot regarding the application, and so I'll make a motion that we move to citation for 373 Cross Highway.
I will second that.
Can I have some clarification?
All in favor? Okay, second for discussion. Yep.
Yeah, so have we sent this to zoning? Do we actually have the zoning decision on that? Have they sent them a...
Yes. There has been correspondence with zoning. Zoning is going to be looking into the matter as well. And they will also be following up with possible action as well.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Good. Yeah, if we could just make sure we get a follow-up on that, I could be happy. But I know somewhere I have a picture from, I believe, Miss Wren.
Yep, it's Wren. I sent that to you this morning, Tom. Sorry.
Do you know when that piece of equipment arrived?
Yes. The date might be off by a day or so, but it was approximately 9 days ago.
Has there been any movement since? Are there vehicle or traffic coming in and out?
Yeah, so I haven't been around for the past week, but the new large piece of green equipment arrived, I think, around the 8th or 9th of April. Prior to that, actually, there had been really no movement on the property since the lumber was delivered, a few months ago. So it's been very quiet, but I don't know. It does seem like there's been some activity in the past week, but I didn't witness it myself. And I apologize. The 1 month I chose not to participate in the meeting, it sounds like there was a decent amount of discussion at last month's meeting. So I wanted to kind of get an update from you all today based on those discussions.
Yeah,
I'm a
Mr.
little out of the
Taylor,
loop right now.
The owner of the property was on the line and basically said that he was working to make it declare it a farm, and he was intending on using that material as part of the farm. But that point is somewhat moot in the sense that zoning will not allow them to be a farm.
Thank goodness. Do I need to separately follow up with zoning, or does it sound like the condemnation and zoning are sort of in concert on this?
Did you make a complaint to zoning?
Matt has been aware of this for quite a few months via the real estate agents who participated in the transaction. I personally have not communicated with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so zoning is aware.
As long as they're aware of it and they've been made aware of it, we've had the chairman has had discussions with them about it.
Okay.
So that's where it stands. Is that they've been given notice that the property meets the criteria. They've had a compliance period. They have taken no action other than bring in additional new equipment, and so we have a motion before us to cite them for blight, which is $100 a day fine.
Okay, so any other discussion?
No.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Vote was unanimous. All right.
So
Thank you.
As we said on the previous one, we'll send a notice of citation. Typically, they appeal that. That appeal happens, sometime 2 weeks to a month after the citation is received by the property owner. So basically it just starts the fining process. It doesn't, that is intended to compel them to take action to resolve the blight issues quicker. But in this case, the town won't be sending up trucks there to remove the debris themselves. We'll just be going to fines.
Understood.
Okay.
All right. Is there anyone else on the line?
Yes. Are you asking for any property or for one in particular?
Any additional callers?
Yes.
Yes.
I apologize for being late. This is Ann Stamler. I'm calling as a neighbor of 447 Stratfield Road. It's number 16 on your list.
All right. Good afternoon, Ann. How are you?
Good afternoon. I am well, thank you, and I do apologize for the late arrival.
No problem. So in regards to 447 Stratfield Road, I've driven by. There really hasn't been any change. We have a broken down gazebo in the rear, the underground swimming pool that has a fence around it, but yet no real locking mechanism. There's a for sale sign in the front. I've had discussions in regards to attempting to remove the gazebo as well as securing the pool for safety. I'm not really sure how that's going to go.
With the owner, you had?
I reached out to the posted realtor, who I have not had any dialogue with the owner. I don't know if anyone here has
responded to the letters, right?
He or she has not responded at all.
So, but it's on the agenda today for citation.
Okay. I'm ready to move forward on this.
Yeah. Are you making the motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye. All right. Any additional callers?
May I just ask? Well, I'm just to be clear, and I'm sorry. Moving forward means what at this point?
So at this point, the owner has received a notice of determination that the property meets the criteria for blight. He did not respond to that, did not make contact, did not take action. And so the board is just now today moved to cite him, which is a $100 a day fine for failure to act. He'll be sent a notice of citation. He will have an appeal afforded to him of that citation. And most people will appeal it.
At the bottom of the block. No, the blight.
And so once that hearing happens with a hearing officer, the hearing officer will make the determination if the fine, if the citation is valid, and then the fines will be in place, and the property will be fined $100 a day until they resolve the blight issues. Okay,
so this notice then is the start of the 30 days during which he can appeal.
Yes, so we send that to him. Once he receives that, then he has an appeal afforded to him. Yes.
Okay. Does he have to acknowledge receipt?
It is sent certified mail, so it requires a signature.
Okay. If he doesn't acknowledge it, is there any recourse?
We move ahead. You know, if he doesn't respond to that, you know, our obligation is to send the letter, certified mail, to the property owner listed with the town records, and then basically the fines become a lien upon the property, and so regardless if he doesn't respond to that, the fines will start.
Because my understanding at the last meeting was that notice had been sent prior to the last meeting.
That was the notice of determination. So there's
I see.
a process. The board votes to determine if the property meets the criteria. That notice is sent. A minimum of 30 days must be provided to the property owner to address the issue. If they make progress, then we sometimes will extend that. But then if they don't respond in any way, then we move to cite. And that's what we did today.
I see. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sorry to take the extra time, but thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you. All right. Any other callers? Anyone else on the line?
Yes. Hello, gentlemen. This is Greg DiMaggio. I filed a
I filed a blight complaint this morning at 741 Old Stratfield Road. They told me to come in onto the call today. I don't know if it's on the agenda or not. Just general blight. I mean, the place looks like a junkyard. I mean, I don't know how better to describe it. There's five cars between on the street and 3 on the front lawn. Two or three of them could potentially be commercial vehicles that are on the front lawn. Also in the back, there's a camper that's run down, and it's nothing but garbage, to be honest. And from what I'm hearing is the neighbors that are attached, I don't know if they're on the line right now, are complaining that they're getting, they're saying they're getting wildlife from the garbage into their yard.
Okay.
And I also know that this property was cleaned up about 2 or 3 years ago, so it's definitely the same owner, probably with the same problem.
Okay, I went out there this morning, or actually this afternoon before the meeting. I did see the 5 vehicles in the front that you refer to. We were going to discuss it here today. Obviously, there is some concern. We're going to send a letter.
Yeah. So we're required to, if it is deemed that the property meets the criteria for blight, then we have to schedule a hearing. So we're not having that today because there's a notification requirement that the homeowner be notified 10 days prior to any hearing regarding his property.
Understood.
So we received the complaints today. Myself, I'm Sans Cleary, the health director, and the fire marshal have been out there to take a look. That we still need further investigation. If all those cars are registered and operable, then that does not meet the criteria for blight, even though it's unattractive. That if the cars are registered and operable, that's allowed. The camper in the backyard is allowed. It can't be creating a harborage for rodents and pests, so that can be addressed. But so we're still continuing the investigation. We have to talk to the homeowner first, and so we'll do that. If it does meet the criteria for blight, we'll send him a notice that there'll be a hearing at the next Board of Condemnation meeting, which will happen a month from now, the 3rd Monday of May, is when that hearing will be. And then there will be a determination made at that meeting, and then he'll be given, once he receives that determination, there'll be a 30-day period given to comply.
So that would not be determined blight if you have cars on your front lawn? I mean, there's cars on his front lawn. I mean, even a commercial vehicle that probably should be in a garage, not on his front lawn. Yeah.
So the blight.
I mean, if you see what the front looks like, you should see what the. I mean, if you see what the front of the house looks like, you should. I mean, I would dare anybody to go inside. I'm sure it's a mess.
Yeah. So the blight ordinance, has its limitations. It's the placement of the cars is not considered in the blight ordinance. It's simply whether the cars are registered and operable. And so that's where our authority lies, is to say these cars have to be registered and operable. I don't even know the rules regarding zoning, whether commercial vehicles can be on the property. But we can talk to them about that. But it's basically the scope of the blight ordinance is such that the cars simply have to be registered and operable, and that's what we'll check with those vehicles once we have some communications with the owner.
Great. All right. Thank you very much.
Hey, hello? Hello?
Yes.
Hello, yes.
Can you provide your name and address?
Orlando Roselle. I'm at 145 Adelaide Street.
145 Adelaide.
My property is next to the property in question.
Okay.
My concern is that camper in the back houses a family of raccoons. Okay?
Okay.
The yard, when we first moved there, looks like something out of Sanford and Son. But it did clean up but it's still a mess. And we do get mice from time to time. And I don't know if it's coming from his yard.
So
Okay.
we can look into if there's habitation of the camper by raccoons. That's something that he's not allowed to have habitation of those types of things.
Okay.
Most houses have the opportunity, regardless of where you are, to have mice, and so that we can look into it and see if we see situations there that are providing harborage for that, and if we see evidence of active infestation, then we can take care of that. But which is what we said we will do. But yep, the camper, per zoning, and our last time we dealt with the property, the camper is allowable to sit on its property, so we can't order him to remove it. But if it's creating a harborage for animals and rodents, then we can have them correct that. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the call, too.
Yeah, thanks. That place is a mess.
We will look into it. Anyone else on the call? Okay. Motion, if not needed, to go back to our regular scheduled agenda.
Yep.
I believe we go to communications. Any additional communications besides the one that we just discussed?
The New England app one.
Okay.
Is there a particular address?
They didn't know the address. They said it's behind Home Depot.
I drove New England Avenue. I didn't see anything. Nothing drew my attention. I went to Massachusetts Avenue. I went to New Hampshire. I went behind the Home Depot. I couldn't confirm a specific
property. What was the nature of the complaint?
All I had was an email. That was
The property. It's just an open space area. It's not technically open space, but it's just like land. Yeah, so because we've had a church group go in there and clean that up one time before.
Okay. Would you recommend a reply email?
Well, I think we have to look into it and see. It's
a long time ago we looked into some of that, as I remember, right?
Yeah. It was 3 or 4 years ago. We had a church group go in there and clean it up and get rid of the old shopping carts and things like that. So, but again, we'd have to look into it and see if we feel it meets the blight criteria. And I believe it's owned by Home Depot. And if we ask them to clean it up, they will.
Yeah. Okay. So you believe it might actually be Home Depot property?
I believe
you really have to look at it. There was some confusion. Remember, we had it up above the hill too when they put Whole Foods in, and behind that there were a couple wooded areas in there that were being. Yeah. I'm not sure where this one is. Might be along the strip on Kings Highway. Yeah. Might be up above. I don't know where they're in an odd shaped piece of property owned by one conglomerate of whatever.
Without specifics, I think it's kind of a little difficult to...
Send us some pictures. Send us a coordinate, and we'll go look at it. Otherwise, you can't.
I drove all up and down those streets. So as far as New England's not, it's a couple blocks away from the depot. So...
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that strip of land along there, that on Kings Highway, that might be... And I don't really know how long it goes. You have to have GPS with you to see.
Yeah. But I think this is, worthy of just a call to the manager of Home Depot and say, hey, the lot's getting dirty, please clean it up, and see if they respond, initially.
I could do that.
We'd have to look at it and see if it meets the criteria to blight. Yeah. They provided the safety glasses and gloves and garbage bags and threw out all the garbage for the church cleanup.
Good neighbors. Okay. Very nice. 65 Myro.
Well, do we want to go? I started it, but should we go through the agenda? And these are communications.
Communications?
Okay, that's communications.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking.
65 Myro is in zoning right now.
It is.
They've already received an order from zoning?
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think perhaps we table it pending zoning feedback, see if we see anything or hear anything back from them.
I just don't want to get into the same issue we get in with Tony, with the last.
Correct.
We're essentially not doing our job because we're tabling because of what?
Oh, you're right.
So if we had a reason to say, and I actually believe that, Fairfield Beach was a reasonable extension because of conditions.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Absolutely.
I just want to move forward with it because otherwise it's a month.
Yep.
This is a severe blight.
Okay.
I mean, severe. You can't really see it from the road, but somebody must be able to. So I don't want to let it fall behind.
Yeah, no, I think
understood.
I think it's from the pictures. I think we need to, I didn't walk the property yet. I could see some evidence of it, but I think we need to go out there, have an inspection, and then have a hearing at next month's meeting. Well, I think we just need to walk the property.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
From the pictures,
it's not like 3 bags of garbage,
from the pictures,
or property at Home Depot we can't find. That's a lot going on over there.
Yeah. I think it's merits a hearing for next month.
Okay.
I don't want to lose it. Another month is.
All right, we've talked to the gentleman regarding Old Dam Road today. We've already discussed Old Stratfield Road. So in regards to communications, anything in addition to? No? All right, moving on to condemnation. We currently have one appeal for 92 Grassmere Ave scheduled for the 29th. Nothing else. No additional new business regarding condemnation. Okay. Nope. Blight and blight ordinance, old business. Looked at Cross Highway already. Looked at 1019 Fairfield Beach. As just mentioned, in regards to 92 Grassmere, we have an appeal scheduled. Talked about Hoyden's 383 Hunyadi Avenue. We were tasked to confirm vehicle registration. I went out today, and the gentleman met me at the front door and provided DMV forms for vehicles. Here's all the registrations. He has vessels that expired this month. However, he's in the process of getting them all updated. There's currently 2 vehicles on the property that he is repairing one and has plans to register, and currently has plans to register a second, which is in the backyard. So out of the 5 vehicles that I looked at, 3 are already registered, and the other 2, he said he will be registering one, and he's currently repairing on one as well in anticipation of registering. So there was other debris in the backyard, washer dryers, tires, lawnmowers. There was 2 separate piles of, I'll just say collections, of which he stated that between now and next month they will be gone. Okay. We'll carry it forward.
So can I he's been on for a long, long time.
Yes, he has, but I believe for at least one 2-month period, I believe there is legitimate reasons.
Okay. I would, again, I just don't want to lose something here if he's, he's been on for 9 months or maybe a year. So just want to make sure we don't lose it. We were told they were registered in the past and they're not, and now they're being repaired. I'm concerned for neighbors who have to deal with this day to day, and
The one other issue with this property, the person that lives there is a renter. So that's the other.
So I don't know that matters. I mean, you still have an owner that needs to, comply. But when was the original?
August was the hearing date was September.
Okay. So I'll let him go another month, but truthfully, if he's not cleaned up, I think we should proceed. Just to give him a little nudge. I think that's what then he's given, once we nudge him, he's given that time to do it. Mm-hmm. But I think we've already nudged him enough, and here we go again with these two aren't. I'm fixing that one. I got more in the back. Yeah. I'll let him go another
I agree. The jet skis were not on the property,
okay.
So they've already been, they weren't there today.
Okay, so he is moving. I'm afraid we get stuck on this, Ferris wheel of never ending.
Agree.
Get them all off.
Carry them all one more month. Make the turn,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
114 James.
I drove by today. They put a brand new set of stairs on the front. The right side has been 90% cleaned up. I'm still worried about the back steps in the backyard, which is a mess. So, it's better. Don't get me wrong, it's better. But here we are in the spring. Again, I don't want to lose this. I think they need a gentle nudge.
Yep.
And I think it's,
all right.
They are moving forward, but if we're going to lose it, and they've been on for a long, long time. I think the neighbors. And listen, that side step is viewable from the street. It's not like the back, but there's a lot going. There's dead trees in the back. So you have big dead pine now. It's just way too much over there.
Contact information for them.
We have good contact. The determination was sent in October, so it's been a while.
Okay.
Yep. So I'll reach out to them this month and give them a nudge in terms of, to finish the job. They did, they started painting the house. They cleaned up the right side. They got rid of 3 cars. In the back, they straightened up the back a little bit, but still there's a lot to go. It needs to be.
I'm worried for the safety conditions, truthfully. And that back step, somebody getting in, it's just.
I agree.
Viewable from the street.
I'll take that one on this month and call for an update and try to get them moving forward and basically advise them that, we're going to go to fines next month.
I could also as well, if needed.
Yeah, it's time to move on with this stuff.
We'll carry them to next. 70 Jennings we discussed.
Yeah, did we?
I don't think we discussed.
No, we did not discuss.
He called.
Right.
What he called.
I did see the cars from the front have been moved, and also I think there was a couch.
Yep.
And
couch is gone. Debris in the yard is gone.
Yeah.
Some of it.
There may be a little bit left. I didn't drive up and around, but it looks like they're moving. I'm more than willing to,
Well, according to this, garbage has been removed, cars have been removed. One in the back, I believe this states that it'll be removed this week.
They're making progress.
Let them go. Sure,
it's much better than
I stopped by there and left my card today. Stuck in the doors there, so.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Moving on to number 8, 53 Marion. I have not seen any movement nor change in regards to this property.
No, I'm not even sure who the owner is.
Andrea, you made a note.
Oh, this one.
At closing 5/20/21.
Christy had spoken to the attorney.
So I called Al Straza, because I work with him, and he said they really, really want to work this out. The previous owner, who is the one that you have been sending correspondence to that has been coming back undeliverable, has fled the country, and everybody that he owes money to. So it went into foreclosure. The owner, was it Hold on, I have here. So this is the one that we've gone back and forth. They are about to close with the bank in about a month. He doesn't know anything about the letters that were sent, but he would like a copy of the letter sent to him directly since he represents the new buyer. She's the one who held the loan on the property for the bad guy who left town. And so they would like...
Yeah, so we sent it to Cardoso, then we sent it to Cold Cat, then Cold Cat said they weren't owners, then we resent it to Cardoso. So now Cold Cat, they said they were going to close next month, May 20th, I think they said they were going to close. So I was just waiting on the board what to do before sending it.
Do we have any insight as to what the new owner plans to do? Because
no, but he says they want to clean it up right away. They just can't do anything just yet because they don't have a...
So,
unfortunate circumstances. We also have some conservation issues over there too, because what they built, what they dumped in the conservation. So they have to, this is multi-departmental here again, where we get into, some violations from whether they can even get into the wetlands over there and do what they did. So,
have we had anything come back from the current owner? Nothing,
Not
right?
from the current owner.
He fled the country.
He's gone.
Right.
He did
He's
this
never
on
coming back.
5 or 6 properties.
Yeah.
He's gone. He won't.
And the bank owns it right now.
So the bank.
So the bank owns it, and the new property owner was notified in August of all this, but
they're not the new
can't do
owner. They're not a new owner
they're not
yet.
the new owners yet. So,
They were the
right
mortgage holder, private mortgage holder for the gentleman.
So I guess, is there, so we're at the point where I don't know if we consider that proper service of the owner. I mean, we haven't noticed the bank. And that foreclosure is more recent.
Yeah.
So,
nothing's been delivered.
I'm trying to remember what he called it. He said they're becoming owner by process of.
They put Colcat is the attorney's client, and they're looking to own and close on May 24th. So I don't know if we hold it.
Some sort of process. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So that's 2 months away, really.
Yeah.
By the time we have our meeting next. I'd be willing to, and it's just 2 months. And then, and then another month on that to wait for them, then a month on that if they appeal. So now we're looking at 4 months, maybe 5.
It's missing broken, boarded up windows and seriously damaged or missing siding.
So, I think we should move forward on it, maybe send another notice, I could be good with, but as long as the building is tight, secured,
It's secured. It's secured. I mean,
it was last time I was there, just, I'm afraid of that garage area, kids, banging around in there, you gotta...
So,
Attorney Straza says if you email him a copy of the blight, he will start working on that right away, but he hasn't seen a copy of it.
Okay.
His clients have not furnished him with one.
Okay. You have his email, you can get that.
We have that, so we can get that to him. Okay.
Like I said, it
And he knows
ends up becoming 4 or 5 months of
it's been a long, inaction.
This one's been on longer than.
Well, it's
no owner.
just lack of clarity on who owns it and the process of going on.
Sure.
It's once somebody, like all these, once somebody takes responsibility, then we start to see things happen. But that stuff takes time. But okay.
Well, so, what would we recommend our action to be?
Well, basically, they've got to just remove all the boards. I mean, the action at the property, you mean, or what actions we do now? Well, I think we have to start the process of serving. So we can make a decision whether we deem that we've served the owner of record properly, so whoever's on the town records. Do we know who that is?
Yeah.
Well, when we sent it out, it was
Cardosa.
Cardosa. And
we've met our obligation, and we could vote for citations if we wanted to, and attach the lien to the property. That'll be picked up on the May 20th closure, the 24th closure as a lien on the property.
But they've never provided receipt.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They've never, all the certified mails were never signed.
Our obligation is only to serve them, to send a certified letter to the owner of record. Whether they receive it or not is not necessarily our obligation. That we're required to send it first class to the owner of record with the tenant.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to decide whether we're going to say that that's that, and we vote to cite, and then we, put a lien on the property, and that's how the new owners find out about it. But, I know Al, and so I think we should give him a chance to rectify the situation with the new owner.
That's what he was hoping for. He said, please, can we
Yes.
work on the stairway?
Well, I think we just, we'll provide them a letter and ask for a response to that in terms of what's the plan with rectifying the blight violations.
And know that next week or next month that we would go forward with the finding.
Well, it's almost.
So again, that would give them.
They're not the owners.
So I guess Sans's point, and my point to that too, is we've met our obligation. As a board, we should be moving forward with it. Without regard to who owns it or how much, or a bank or an attorney. Listen, I get it. I don't want to start finding people, but this has been sitting a long time.
Yeah.
And it could go along, and again, we could be sitting on this in 6 months by the time it gets transferred, and I don't get the money, I pay this guy, didn't pay. I don't know. I just want to move forward with it so we're at the next step. Let them go before the agenda, the board, and say, hey, here's our circumstances. Please don't fine us. But right now, I think we're ready. My opinion. Yeah. Unless you want to wait the month, I'd be happy to go to next month and say, send the attorney the letter, send us a letter back so we know that, but date specific. By May 23rd, we'll have the place cleaned up, or not, because otherwise we're sitting on this again for 3 or 4 months.
We probably can't do anything until the.
Correct.
Then I think we should meet our obligation, Carrie, and begin the finding. Let them lien the property and let them go to our appeals. Yeah, let them take care of it. That's, we need to meet our obligation, carry forward, let the appeals people deal with it. Let's get over this thing. Let's just move it on. All of these properties that we're sitting on have been on here for months and months and months and months. Some of them years. So let the appeals officer do his job. Take over for us. This is crazy.
Okay, so.
And that's my opinion. I would just, I'll go with anything the board wants to do. So,
My opinion would be, since you didn't phrase it as a motion, my opinion would be, let's give the attorney the month to sort of put in place. Here's the plan agreed upon by the owner that once they take possession, they're going to file a permit, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and they're going to resolve the issues expeditiously. Or we will simply just serve them on day one and start that process there.
Okay, so hearing no motions, but several recommendations, or at least this last recommendation to send forward notification, we shall move on to the next, which is 233 Old Oaks Road, which again now has a scheduled appeal on April 29th. Any discussion in regards to that? No. Okay. 1180 Oldfield Road. We're looking for an update.
I didn't get a chance to talk to Mr. Peterson.
I've had no discussions with the gentleman either.
The garages and the shed are secured, locked.
I will say this, and I agree with you that they're locked. The house now has broken windows. We're going into summertime. Nobody's maintaining the property. I fear that we're going to get back into the same thing again. There's still broken down machinery that is never going to be fixed. Yeah. There's still debris. There's piles of debris there. I just want to move forward out of this, but he has broken windows on the house now. Nobody's there maintaining it. He's a very nice man, but...
Last month we had no contact. The owner continues to work on the property. All right, well, anything coming before?
Yeah, again, it's my fault. I was supposed to be in contact with him and I didn't. I will try to reach out to him.
Carrying it forward one more. All right.
What, is he being fined on that?
No.
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 So I would recommend again that we give him a gentle nudge. I'm sorry. Last time out, we got into summer issues with dead animals out there. It is absolutely unconscionable for us to allow this to go on much longer unless we maintain the property. if you're suggesting that we do that, I'll call the animal control and they can make a weekly stop there. But I don't want to get into the same thing we did last year. People in that neighborhood could not use their yards because of dead animals.
Right.
Unconscionable for that to happen.
He was making forward progress, and that progress is now delayed.
I don't know. We're just ready. This is years and years and years. So it's just a comment. It's not a motion. I don't want to motion that, so I'll go with anybody's recommendation. But I don't want to get into a hot summer months and dead animals again.
Okay. All right. Carry that over. 72 Roseville. I drove by there today, looked in the back. There's been no movement.
Yep.
So he does have he has a demo permit there, right?
Yeah, but he hasn't.
I think there might have been a demo permit from a while ago as well.
Yeah. So I think we should do the same thing we did with Fairfield Beach Road. He has a permit. He's ready to go. He's not making action on it. I think we should move forward. I mean, this is a contractor.
So are you making a motion to cite him?
I would make a motion to cite him, yes.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? My discussion is I agree.
That's great. So
all in favor?
Aye.
79 Stevenson Road.
I'll make a motion to cite them. Taking no action.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. All right. So 15 222 Stilson Road, I believe, has requested an appeal. I don't know if we've actually scheduled a date. Do you think it would be possible to include that on the 29th?
What today is? Would it be 10 days if I send it tomorrow?
I think he did ask for an appeal, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. As long as he's asking for an appeal, let him go through that process and let the.
So I think we can if we can. I don't.
Do you want to do it later or earlier? See if the attorney can come. He was going to come at 2:30 to start at 3. Or we can talk about scheduling
I think it's
later.
going to be a longer appeal, and I think it should be a little earlier to be truthful. But we have a couple, right? We have a couple of them.
We have 3, I believe, scheduled already.
Yeah. So you're not going to get that done in an hour. I don't think in an hour.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So schedule that one another day. That way.
Well,
I don't know.
If willing to add another one to the property, and the property owner is available. Right. Let's try for it.
Okay,
rather than let's make an effort.
Yep.
I mean, with our schedules being what they are, one day versus multiple. Okay.
Sure.
We can see what
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Stratfield Road we already talked about, and 280 Tuckahoe is currently being fined. So, any discussion on any of that? 280 Tuckahoe?
So can you give him a call and see if you can get those block out of there, see if we can get rid of that? I mean, I've told you before about this business of charging somebody $30,000, $40,000.
I've spoken with.
Okay.
Spoken with in the past.
Say no more.
And he knows when he called to appeal and schedule for Grassmere, he knows.
Okay.
About 280.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, moving on to new business. 292 Berkeley Road.
I did see the dumpster there, so I did talk to Charlene. So they've been working on it. They got a dumpster there. I drove by. There's a dumpster in the driveway. They've started the work.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, she calls me 3 times a week. So
good.
Concerned that we're, I'm happy that he's out of there, except during the day he goes in.
To hopefully clean out some stuff.
Yeah. I do have concerns for the stability of that building, the front porch. So, I would just, again, say we'll give him another month. If it's not, then I think we should go forward with condemnation and make sure that nobody's allowed in, that building gets, that front porch is going to fall on somebody. I'm sorry. And the side of the building, too.
If she's calling you, she's called me once, but, do you want to convey that to her, a month, and then you got to tell her?
I will. Yeah. She calls me at least 3 times a week.
Now, you tell me you're not supposed to drink that, right?
I'm putting it under my arm.
Sure.
I'm
he's getting
It does
there.
say 75% alcohol.
That was my concern.
It does smell like the old tequila we used to drink.
So, during the discussions, is there forward, obviously with the dumpster being there, okay, it's one thing if the dumpster's there, but are we seeing movement from within?
So I would address that on two issues. One on the blight, absolutely. I would absolutely walk away from the blight and say, yes, she got a dumpster, she got another one, they're working all the time. I worry about the condemnation portion of this, that somebody were to inadvertently, there's stray cats there's some little kid going to pet a cat, that front porch is, the side of the building is falling down. So, two issues, blight, I agree, condemnation, I disagree. We should do something about that.
Did you post it?
I did, but in a very, very limited, very, you'd really have to look for that because I thought she'd be cleaned out by now, and I'm going to speak to her, and I've been very forceful with her,
again, we haven't taken condemnation action, but
correct.
You have technically, under your authorities, posted the building that it's unsafe,
correct,
and that nobody should go in there. So it is technically condemned right now.
Well,
because of the structure.
I would have to send letters to the town attorney in the state of Connecticut to technically do it. So we've notified, notified that it's, but up to the point of condemning here in this particular office, then we'd have to take action on it, not allow anybody in. I want to give them that time, and she is working on it.
Okay.
But I do worry, Sands.
I get it. I get it.
The front porch is a mess. Now, by the way, I was up on it, jumping up and down, and it's not going to fall down tomorrow. But I was hoping it would fall down on me.
Okay, so is the point that we're going to encourage quicker action and basically advise that we're going to have to go official at the next meeting.
If with understanding from our commission here, I will tell her if she's not done in a month, we're going to carry forward with the condemnation and secure the building ourselves. Is that all right? I just want to be I want to be forceful with her so that she gets it done.
Yeah.
How much debris can be in a building?
How much time do they need?
I don't know.
If
I don't want the building falling down.
That's
I don't want somebody going into the building getting hurt. I don't want that old man up and down those raggedy old stairs. I don't want the back floors to fall. Again, I don't think it's going to fall down tomorrow, but, you need one thing to happen, and, when I see a house buckling on the side like that and no support on that ceiling, there's a problem in the front.
So how else?
I can get an engineer out there to tell us how bad it is, but I don't want to go to that. I want to give her, let's go another month with her, let's keep her off this, get her a month, and I'll be forceful with her and tell her she has a month, and then we're going to go to fines on it.
Okay.
Is that fair? That's as fair as I can be. She's known about it for a long, long time and should have been acting at least on the outside and securing it and getting him a...
So fines based on the blight.
Well, we haven't taken any action.
No, we haven't taken any action yet, but I'm going to tell her we're going to move forward at the next meeting we're moving forward with it.
Correct.
Both
also the condemnation within 30 as well.
So I'm going to tell her both of those, that we're going to carry forward with the blight, that it's still blightable, and then we'll take action. And next month it will take action on the condemnation. So that will be us going out there determining whether we need an engineer to, and going forward with that.
So are we doing a hearing next month or just?
So
it's new, so I think we have to send a letter.
Yeah, I think so. That we're going to schedule hearings, but because we have to do it by mid-month to, since we're delayed a week, we have to do it, within a week or so. So let's schedule the hearings. I know we were trying to be sensitive and trying to, she was acting.
I am, Sands. I just worry that his vehicle's there, he's back inside the house again. I mean, open gas flames, the whole side is missing on the building. Come on.
Okay. No, I'm okay with moving forward on this altogether because I think it meets the criteria.
Absolutely. I agree.
All right. So we'll send them letters. We're going to have a hearing next week. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. 2465 Black Rock Turnpike.
I didn't get a chance to go.
I didn't get a chance to go to that one either. 2465 Black Rock.
Is this raised other property? The number doesn't ring out.
Well, we're going to get it on that again. If we draw that one again, it's becoming...
Okay, 2465.
Broken down cars on it again.
Where this one is.
No, this was behind the, this was garbage from the restaurant behind the...
No.
No?
Oh, is this the one, is this the broken fence
No,
one?
that was something else, I believe, correct?
This is a broken fence.
This is up north.
This is a broken fence.
Yes.
With, yes, we had that at our last meeting.
2465. The left side going up.
Fence missing. It probably does not meet the criteria for blight. So it doesn't meet the criteria for blight.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to get onto that.
Yeah, there is a picture. It's just like a panel missing of a fence.
Oh, okay.
There was
Fences are not us.
there with the
Zoning. That's not us.
Yeah, I don't know if this would fit into fence backs up a safety hazard.
Is that at a restaurant?
It
looks like it's at Fred's or...
Friends, I believe, is a gas station. Is it on the corner of...
It's the opposite corner of the gas station.
It's right across the corner from it. It could be that.
Okay.
J.C. Bradley and Sons.
Carry that one over.
Yeah, we'll have
Check
to
it out
figure out,
next.
if there's anybody we can refer to in the town. I don't know, we can look into it and see if the house can send them a letter about repairing a fence.
All right. Other new business, 119 Melody Lane.
I think that was another fence one.
Okay. I'll check on that within hopefully the next week, so we have a report for next. 159 Lally Boulevard.
Lally, I'll send you a picture of it. This is Lally Boulevard today. I've been out there last month, spoke to the new owner. I told her she cannot leave the building in that condition. It is still open today. I'm getting a message from her. It's a stall. I'm sorry. She needs to. She's claiming she's going to demo, and I believe her. But all I'm getting is. I told her 2 weeks ago, you got to padlock the doors, close up the windows. It's oh no, that's all done. So I was there today. All the doors and windows are wide open.
Huh.
So she's giving me, it's just, it's somebody doing a demo and a build and somebody, I don't know what she is, but she's not a builder. So now she just sent me, oh my God, I'm sending my builder over now. Well, that's what she told me 2 weeks ago. So in my opinion, that is blight.
Have a hearing.
Yeah, we should have a hearing. Okay. If she's, again, if she's secure with the demo permit, bang, see you later, goodbye. This is, she's removed half the building here. Not half the building, but she, under the demo floor, you can't even do this. We have a holding, she's, just, anyway, you want to put that in the file. But here, I'll send you my letter to her, asking her to secure the building. And that's the second one, so,
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, absolutely.
Send them 2 notices to lock the doors, lock it up.
Well, I think we should send her notification from us.
I do too. Absolutely.
Yeah, for a hearing for next month.
Yeah.
So that hopefully that'll motivate.
Well, I gave her 24 hours or I'm going to hire somebody to do it because it's unsecured and, there's funky basements and another one on Oldfield that's coming down. Same thing on Oldfield. I'm going to go out and call a contractor now, secure it. I don't want somebody falling into a basement, drowning.
Okay. I see no additional new business. Any new business? Nope. With that, I see old business, but I believe we have already talked about old business. And without anything else before us, nothing?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? I'll second it.
Happy to second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Someone there?
That's you.
Okay. So
Okay.
we're all done. Thank you.